We are live.
Hello and welcome to the ITSR Twisted Cup Series here live on a Tuesday night at Texas Motor Speedway. The race sponsored by Axios Sanitary Services and presented by MW Productions. I'm Michael Keaton. Down pushing the studio buttons with me tonight is Michael Woolley. Folks, welcome again to the Great American Speedway, Texas Motor Speedway race number 7. Qualifying underway right now. But before we get you into who's where on the starting grid tonight, we're going to go over last Tuesday's results. CJ LeVert would take home the checkered flag. Part of that Viva Mexico Racing Chevy at Martinsville. Brandon Traburco would finish in second place, and boy, what a battle was it. Rich Jett would finish third. Doug Roth finished fourth. Rounding out the top 5 last week at Marty, Brian Harvey. 6th went to Jose Gonzalez, and 2 teammates finished back-to-back there. Douglas White finished 7th, Matt Lacrosse 8th, J. Randall Watkins 9th, and John Wilco, part of that Back Road Motorsports team, rounded out the top 10. Now, coming into tonight's race, it's still anybody's ball game. CJ LeVert first in points, just 1 up on Jose Gonzalez. Matt Lacrosse 3rd, Neil Fasekas 4th, Brandon Traburco rounding out the top 5. Stefan Marinac sits 6th, Adam Hiley 7th, tied with John Wilco. Ryan Harvey 9th, and Blaine Woodruff is in 10 in the point standings coming into tonight's race. And getting ready for an exciting race here at Texas as qualifying's underway. Currently, don't want to give you too much spoiler alerts out there, but Brandon Traburco, not everyone's qualified, but Brandon Traburco is sitting in the hot seat right now in first spot. And Frank Busciella is sitting second. So it'll be interesting to see if those guys can continue to hold their mounting charge at the first row here in the Great American Speedway. The Texas Shootout, the 114, race 7, nearly in the book of a 12-race week series with the ITSR Twisted Cup Series. We're going to take you to the promotional video and to the national anthem. Then after that, trackside for the starting grid.
New shoes, and I don't know where I'm going to. Silk suit, black tie, and I don't need a reason why. Come running just as fast as you can. Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. Gold watch, diamond ring. Well, I ain't missing on a single thing. Conflicts, stick pin, and I still don't know the do you in. They come running just as fast as they can.
Hey, look here, beavers. You better hide your wives, hide your husband, and look here, both of you hide your kids, because we're coming.
Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. Looking sharp, looking for love. They come running just as fast as they can. Every girl's crazy about a sharp dress man. suit, black tie, and I don't need a reason why. They come running just as fast as they can. Every girl's crazy about it.
And we're back where qualifying has just ended, and as always, Stephen Herring giving out pre-race driver instruction. You know, I love the meetings. One time, Mike, we've got to get them on air. I mean, Stephen is just blows me away. But nonetheless, I've already spoiled the front row. Brandon Cherburko, Frank Musiella were able to hang on to it. Second row, Stefan Marinac and Mark Bratcher. Next row, C.J. LeVere puts it home fifth quickest, and Jose Gonzalez, who's riding solo, is in sixth. Doug Roth in the 43 machine rolls off seventh. Ben Burnett to his outside in eighth. Starting in the ninth spot, the 83 car, Jay Horton, and to his outside in the 10th position, the 66 Brian Harvey. The Deuce of Brett McBride starts 11th. Scott Simley rolls off 12th. Douglas White, who I just heard that Douglas had to put down his dog tonight and is running the Hippies Doug dog paint scheme for his car. Just handed this note here. So obviously to Douglas and more than likely his wife putting that dog down, just very, very tough. To his outside, hopefully to give him some sort of a break here tonight, the 35 Chad Schilling. 15th quickest, Luis Rodriguez starts 15th. 16th, Adam Roberts in the 88 machine, the last to take time. Frank Coons in the 48 car. Although I was watching that 14, Josh Chaney coming off of turn 2, looked really good, but lost it, so he was unable to qualify. Matt Lacrosse starts 18th. Josh Chaney will start 19th. Rich Jett 20th. Jay Randall Watkins and that 77 machine rolls off 21st, and John Wilco, who had a great run last week, starts 22nd, and Stephen Herring rolls off 23rd. 23 drivers, and all smiling right now as we begin the pace parade lap here at the Great American Speedway, Texas Motor Speedway, mile-and-a-half racetrack. Clear! I see maybe 1 or 2 clouds up in the sky there, though, but nonetheless, 69 degrees, feeling mighty good here at Texas with a slight 11-mile-an-hour wind chill. As Brandon Chaburko gets to lead the field of 23 down into turns 3 and for the green flag here tonight. Looking out on the 94 car, looks like he's got a new paint scheme. Batman Forever. The McDonald's machine of Frank Busciella. So a new look to his car. As we get ready to go green here at Texas. Yeah. There's been a lot of Batmans, I tell you, but Batman Forever. And as we're forever green here and forever young at Texas Motor Speedway. Hey, tonight, real tight in 3 and 4 and real loose off turns 2. And we're about to find out how loose and how greasy, I think is the words that Stephen Herring used in the driver's meeting. And we're going to see probably some spins off turn 2 tonight. And these guys are going to push off forward, which is going to make the car push off into the wall, maybe resulting in some spins off of turn 4, but not yet, as the first lap here at Texas has just been completed under the green flag condition where Brandon Chaburko is leading. But boy, we've got a battle back here in 10th spot. Jay Horton, the 68 car, Rhett McBride in the 2 car. He's underneath Simley. So is Chad Schilling. Here comes Matt Lacrosse. Simley going backwards. No man's land. Hits the 14. Josh Chaney nearly loses it out of 2. Gathers it back up as he now is being worked on by the Douglas Wyatt 5 cars. He goes way up top side of the racetrack here at Texas as they complete lap 2 on the boards. Again, 114 laps set tonight. It's the Texas Shootout, 114, and we have still got a nice little battle here for the 9th or the 10th and 11th spot, where Jay Horton just gave it up to Rhett McBride. Now here comes Matt Lacrosse of the 21 Fearless Racing Ford as caution comes out. It's a big one. It's a big one up front here. Ben Burnett into the wall. The 46 car, Mark Bratcher in the wall. But it's going to start with your leaders. It's going to start with your leader, Brandon Chaburko and Frank Busciella. And I called it. He got loose off of turn 2. Brandon Chaburko had nowhere to go but into the rear of him. He spins out, collects the 37 car, collects the 43 of Doug Roth. Mark Bratcher caught up in it. Frank Busciella again caught up in it. CJ LeVere scrapes by. Stefan Marinac with heavy left front damage. And we went from all smile racing to all frown racing.
Damn, boy, you got some bad luck.
Yeah, the 43 car showing heavy smoke coming out beneath that car. Doug Roth caught up in it. And if you're just looking at the replay, you can just kind of see what happened. Brandon Chaburko just gets loose. Nothing Frank did. Just gets loose right in front of Frank. Counters it, counters the attack. He looks like he catches the car from spinning the second time, but maybe a little bit of overcorrectiveness. Sent it back up. And then he came back down and hit the 94 car, and which resulted in the big one here at Texas. So as the damaged up race cars come down pit road, we're going to take you to an early commercial break here tonight. The first caution, we're working lap number 4 at the Texas Great American Speedway. We'll be right back. And we're back. We're about to get back going green here. Pace light off, and Jose Gonzalez is your new leader with Jay Horton to the outside. Second row is Luis Rodriguez in the fourth car, CJ LeVere. Mark Bratcher bringing that car behind the garage. His day and night is done here early on as Gonzalez takes us back to the green, and CJ putting one move on the 47 car there, Luis Rodriguez, as we got a good battle here shaping up for the 4th and 5th and 6th spot on back here. Side by side action here coming off of turns 2 where it gets real nice and greasy. One car into the wall, that's Adam Roberts. He was in 12th spot, just got too tight on him, hit the wall right front. Heavy damage to that car as he's able to keep going. But the battle still rages on. The battle still wages on here into turns 2 where we've got Scott Simley struggling to get things going here. He's off of 2, little loose. Chad Schilling in the Carolina Panthers Chevy is underneath him. He's trying to get the 6th spot away from Simley. There's nearly a three-way battle back here for 10th, 11th, and 12th, where Jay Randall Watkins leads that group of drivers. Luis Rodriguez is there, Rich Jett, Josh Cheney. Single file out front, Jose Gonzalez is way ahead of the second base driver. That is CJ LeVere. Nearly a second.
Hold on to it,
separates the two, and then you nearly go about a second back to Rhett McBride to CJ LeVere. Rhett McBride has somewhat of company behind him. Jay Horton is about 4 or 5 car lengths behind, but the battle's for 5th, and that's where Matt Lacrosse sticks his forward underneath the 66 of Brian Harvey and claims the position. So move Matt Lacrosse up into the top 5 here. Folks, if you're just joining us, this is the ITSR Twisted Cup Series, sponsored by Axio Sanitary Services and presented by MW Productions. Race number 7, Texas Shootout 114. Last week was the Paperclip 144 at Martinsville, where CJ LeVere won. And tonight, you can see a different winner. Right now, it looks like that Don Q Chevy's out front looking good. And mind you, Jose Gonzalez not the quickest in qualifying. 6th place he started tonight's race at. But he was fastest in practice. And here he is leading the race. Brandon Chaburko just made the famous left-hand turn down into the garage area. They even put the hood down on it and said, "We're done." So 2 cars claiming to be out currently at the race. So you got John Wilco now here and going into the pits as well. John Wilco, heavy damage to that machine. The Turtle Crushers Chevy has just come to a complete stop at the pit stall. Right side's going up, so it looks like he may try to get some new tires and fix more damage and get back out there. So it doesn't appear that his night's done, per se. But currently, 17 on the lead laps. The 98 car of Stephen Herring is the last one on the lead lap. 14.1 seconds currently back from the leader, Jose Gonzalez. John Wilco's now going 2 laps down. Frank Busciello 1 lap down. Doug Ross 7. And Brandon Chaburko, Mark Bratcher, and Ben Burnett all 10 laps down. And we're hearing that Ben Burnett and the 37 cars also in the garage area claiming to be done for tonight's race as well. So that big pile up there at the beginning of the race here around lap 3 or 4 that we had really took some hard hitters out there. Now it looks like the race is getting a nice little green flag run stretch of itself as Frank Busciella is the first one near to go a lap down. He just coming into turn 1 here as the leader. You can see exiting turn 4. So that's just how close Jose is to putting him another lap down into that dangerous territory to where you got to make up more than 1 lap. So the Don Q Chevy leading the way. And C.J. Laverre's got some company back here in second. Rhett McBride has snuck his GT Omega Racing Ford black RDSR Chevy. Now I said RDSR Chevy, but that's actually a Ford car. Chevy belongs to the C.J. Laverre machine that's in front of him. Also, Matt Lacrosse is there with his Fearless Racing Hippies Paint Shop sponsored Ford with the MW Productions on front of it.
Steve, when you're ready to get by me, just let me know.
He's got all kinds of sponsors there as he looks to let his teammate, C.J. Laverre, fall back in line here as the Deuce Rhett McBride takes over the second spot from C.J. Laverre. Move that hauling Rhett McBride Deuce machine up to second. He's on a mission. And C.J. Laverre going to have to give way to teammate Matt Lacrosse. So C.J. not looking the fastest that he's ever looked before, but he did suffer some maybe minor damage from that big pileup that we had earlier. John Wilco still being serviced down on pit road. Someone else just joined him. That's going to be the 48 car of Frank Coons. So now Frank Coons is a couple of laps down. And Stephen Herring begins to fall about 19 seconds back off of the pace. Josh Cheney just turned his Chevy into the garage area, put the hood up on it, and said, "We're done." Man, I tell you, that big wreck there, it just really got a hold of a lot of drivers. And I mean, I'm talking about most of them suffered extensive damage. You know, I'm not talking about cosmetic damage that you may see on the forecar of C.J. Laverre. I'm talking about, you know, extensive damage to where the car just wouldn't turn, and we've already seen multiple drivers in there not early. We see right now Frank Busciella, who put his 94 Ford on the front row in second. I mean, he's just, the rear end of that car just all knocked out. The toes knocked out.
I'll be
17th spot, one lap down. As we get some green flag laps down on the board, we're going to take to another commercial break. C.J. Laverre, meanwhile, going backwards here, but the man who's leading the pack, Jose Gonzalez, is second. Rhett McBride second. Or excuse me, Jose Gonzalez first, Rhett McBride second. Matt Lacrosse just moving up into the third spot, taking it away from C.J. Laverre. And the 83 machine of Jay Horton rounds out the top five. You're watching MW Productions live coverage of the ITSR Twisted Cup Series here at Texas.
In a world where survival is the only rule and feelings have no place, where winning is everything and weakness is fatal, how much difference can one person make? That depends on the person. In every life, there is a line that cannot be crossed without leaving everything behind. except faith. Once that step is taken, there is no looking back, and all that lies ahead is destiny. There is no looking back, and all that lies ahead is destiny.
Back live here racing at Texas Motor Speedway, we just saw the 43 car Doug Roth come down to his pit stall, sit there for just a second or two, and then pull it behind the garage. So Doug Roth night coming to a close here early. I say early, we're about a quarter of the way done here. As we've got since that big wreck, we've got a nice green flag run here. Very nice green flag run here, as Jose Gonzalez has strengthened his lead out to 3 seconds over second place Rhett McBride. Meanwhile, Matt Lacrosse is closing in on Rhett McBride. He's just down by 200ths of a second. CJ Lavere still hanging on to 4th spot, and so is Jay Horton hanging on to 5th. Brian Harvey 6th, Stefan Marinac 7th, Chad Schilling 8th, Rich Jett 9th, and Scott Simley rounding out the top 10. So it looks like nearly half the drivers that started tonight, 12 of them right now, are on the lead lap. If you look at Stephen Herring on back, they're a lap down or more, going all the way back to where Ben Burnett is. 23rd spot, 29 laps down. Want to remind you folks that we've been through 6 races already. We had the Beach Bum 84 at Daytona, the Snakebite 114 at Phoenix, the Gambler 104 at Las Vegas, the Quick Car Bump and Run 134 at Bristol, the Cali Surf Shop 84 at the Auto Club Fontana, California Speedway, the Paperclip 144 last week at Martinsville, and tonight here we are at the Texas Shootout 114. Next week, April 15th, we go to Darlington, the Darlington Stripe 124. The week after that, we'll head off to the Virginias, Richmond, the Virginia 144, and then it's my home track, the Quick Car. I can't believe I'm going to change this. The Quick Car Roll Tide 84 at Talladega. Actually, it's called the Quick Car War Eagle 84, but for lack of a better word, War Eagle, we'll use Roll Tide. And then it's off to Kansas, May 6th, Kansas, the Wizard 94. And then it's the House of Jimmy 164. You guessed it, folks. Charlotte, May 13th, just before my cruise to St. Thomas. Can't wait for that. Here in Douglas, Wyatt wrecked his car. He's in the pits. He's in the pits right now. Of course, sporting the new logo here, or the new paint scheme here tonight in honor of his pet. He hasn't made the turn into the garage area, but he's got a lot of damage. In fact, he has a ton of damage. Now, just looking here, I've seen C.J. Lavere slip back, and now caution's out. C.J. Lavere came down and pitted under green flag conditions, but caution is out. And this is going to be for Frank Coons. Frank Coons, a little tight off of turn 2, maybe. Kind of hard to tell if he was tight. He come off of turn 2, maybe a little loose, and got back into the gas and just right into the wall, and then spun it out, hit the inside wall, and oh, blew the engine on him. And that will take us to our second caution. Of the night. 39 laps now being complete. C.J. Lavere is 1 lap down. He pitted under the green flag condition, and I don't think no one else had pitted. As I assure you this time by, Jose Gonzalez will. The good news is for C.J. Lavere is that he will get the waiver out here. He'll stay out. He just pitted. He'll stay out. Get his lap back, but he's going to have to start from the back of the field. And sometimes that's not where you want to be. He was running 4th. Here we come, down to the leaders, coming down the pit road. The 26 Don Q Chevy, Jose Gonzalez, leads us down pit road. Behind him, Matt Lacrosse in the 21 car directly behind him. Pit road speed here at Texas, 45 miles an hour. 1 mile an hour over, you're going to get busted for speeding. And we've had a really nice green flag run here, so these guys are come down here, right side's going up on all the machines here. Then you'll see the crew come around to the left side to jack them up. About a 13-second stop is really all you need, and you're out and away. Now the guy who's got the biggest, the best pit box here is Jose Gonzalez. He came in first, and he's got the shortest way to exit, and he will win that race off pit road. And while we've got a second, we'll see if we can get old Jose Gonzalez in here. Let's see if we can't get Matt Lacrosse, who's in second. Matt Lacrosse doing a great job tonight with 21 Ford machine. Matt Lacrosse, Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Matt, I tell you what, man, from 8th to 2nd, although be it to that big wreck we had earlier on, you've had a stout-looking car. You started to catch Jose a little bit there in that long green flag run, and here you're going to start 2nd.
Yeah, Jose's pretty strong. I don't know if we got anything for him. He's got this place figured out. Hopefully, if something happens to him, I can maybe get the win, but I doubt it. Jose's really strong, and I'll just be happy with the top 5 at this point.
Well, Matt, you know how to stretch that MW Productions logo out on the front of that bumper, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't like to do that, but if it comes down to it, I'm not afraid to.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you got a good shot at, just about as good shot as anybody else. You've got a pretty fast car behind you as well, and Rhett McBride, who's shown some strength tonight. C.J. Lavere right now currently in the back. Green flag pitted it and got kind of stuck there, but it looks like you've got some firepower behind you, but like you said, you got some firepower in front of you, and that's Jose Gonzalez. And you got to think, though, going into tonight's race, qualifying or not being able to qualify and starting in the back there in 18th, moving it up to 2nd, you got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I made a mistake in qualifying. scrubbed the wall a little bit coming off of 4. It wouldn't have been good enough for the pole, but I'd have started in the top 3. I tried to wool her up before I crossed the line and barely nosed her across the line, so didn't get a second lap. So, yeah, I had to start from the back, but that wreck kind of helped out a little bit. I didn't get involved in that, and we're up here in second. We'll see what we can do. If I got something for Jose, I'm gonna try. That's for sure. I'm gonna try.
All right, thanks, Matt, for talking with us here. Let you get cut back loose to get the golden green flag here.
All right, thanks, Michael.
All right. Matt Lacrosse here, sporting the Michael Woolley Productions, the MW big logo on the front of that car. In the rear, the Fearless Racing Team, Hippies Paint Shop, down towards the left rear quarter panel. Jay Horton, sporting the Terminative Poker's car here tonight. Jay Horton sitting 4th right now. And you've got Stephen Marinac back in the 24 machine, back in 5th. The Game of Thrones, Season 4 Chevy. As the field paces through turns 3 and 4, Jose Gonzalez is going to take us back to the green. 42 laps will be completed this time by. Getting closer and closer to that halfway park. And green flag. Single file in the front, but we've got a nice little battle shaping back up here for the 7th position and 6th spot, where Rich Jett is under fire by the 66 of Brian Harvey. Here comes Chad Schilling in that Carolina Panther 35 Chevy. He's going to try to force 3 wide, possibly. Thought maybe just a little bit better about it. Puts the left side tires onto the grass. X is going down the front stretch. No harm, no foul, right? Chad Schilling now going to look underneath the 66. Brian Harvey way up top here. See if he gets loose. No. Nice, steady coming off of turn 2 with the run. Going to dive it back down in turns 3 here, trying to hold on to that 7th spot. Chad Schilling working underneath Brian Harvey. See if he can't get the run off the corner. Brian Harvey still has the run. This battle's for 7th spot on the racetrack at Texas Motor Speedway. Chad Schilling in the 35 car, blue and black. Harvey in the 66 up high. Side by side, a Fearless Racing Chevy going at it to another Chevy. And I think I just seen some tire rub. What does Tweety say? I did see some tire rub. I don't know what's funnier, me telling jokes to myself or me laughing at my own jokes. Well, it's like Chad Schilling made the move, and then Brian Harvey said, no, sir, pulled the crossover. Now he's down low, working up underneath the Schilling machine. As they venture off out of turn 4 down the front stretch. 46 laps complete this time by. This is really the closest battle currently on the racetrack as far as side-by-side is concerned. Up front, the top four are single file. Ahead of these two battling side-by-side are single file. That's Joe Horton and Rich Jett. CJ Lavera, meanwhile, is catching up to this 2-wide battle, so this may become a 3-wide contest here shortly. As Jose Gonzalez continues to put them down, count them down, one by one, 48 laps complete. This time by, we're going to do a crank it up, reach over, grab your volume controls, crank it up. Let's do some onboard cameras. MW Productions sponsoring the onboard camera of the Don Q. Jose Gonzalez, leader out there right now. The onboard of Rhett McBride as well. crank it up. Always good to do a crank it up here at Texas Motor Speedway. Don't ever be too scared to crank it up. And cranking it up is exactly what Rhett McBride has done. He is closing in inch by inch, centimeter by centimeter. It's taking him some time, but it seems like he's catching just a little bit, just a tad bit on Jose Gonzalez, who's been kind of dominant here since the big wreck that happened earlier that took Churmerko, Frank Busiella out, Mark Bratcher, Ben Burnett, some other guys back there. Doug Roth. But that's racing. You never know what you're going to get. And Jose Gonzalez started in the 6th spot. He's up first. Rhett McBride started in 11th. And how about that? In 2nd. Oh, he gets into the wall a little bit off from 2. Getting a little bit tight, perhaps. I seen it bind up. I saw the car bind up just ever so little bit. And that's all it takes. Stefan Marinac has moved up into the 3rd spot. Matt Lacrosse falls back to 4th. He started 18th. Jay Horton rounding out your top 5, qualified 9th. He's in 5th, but he's under fire by the 36 car of Rich Jett, who's just trying to close in here. Meanwhile, Rhett McBride up front has gained to about 4 to 5 car lengths back from your leader, Jose Gonzalez. This is the closest all night that he's been under fire. And always doing a good job here. Rhett McBride, ever so slightly, actually lost a little bit that lap, but he's there. That's what matters. Looking back here in 5th spot, Jay Horton looks like he may be getting ready to give up that 5th spot to Rich Jett as he's lurking in the distance. Half a car length down the backstretch into turns 3. Rich looking high. Gonna have to let it out, roll the center, get back on it. Now a car length and a half separates those two as they try to wind it back up into turn 1. If you've noticed, there's like a little trend here. You got cars up here, one 1st and 2nd, then you got 2 cars battling for 3rd and 4th, then 2 cars battling for 5th and 6th. CJ LeVere just kind of stuck her in 7th. Looking at the 3rd place battle, Stefan Marinac almost gave Matt Lacrosse a little bit of nudge coming off of turn 2. He was so up on him. Here he is again, the 24 car with a run, and he actually lets out the throttle, it looks like, to kind of end that run as he was approaching oh so fast. Coming down into turns 1, about 3-4 car lengths now starting to separate that battle. Let's move on back here. to the 11th and 12th place position battle. That's Scott Simley and the J. Randall Watkins 77. Now this is almost a four-way battle, guys. Up in front, Adam Roberts in the 88 car is in 10th. About somewhere in the neighborhood of 10, maybe 9 car lengths back as Scott Simley starts to close in that gap. 77 car all over the back rear deck lid of the Scott Simley coming off of turn 4. 77 looking for it. Simley into the wall. 77's going to get it. That's the battle for 11th. J. Randall Watkins takes over. That got a little hairy there as now Randall Watkins looks underneath the 88 car of Adam Roberts. He's there. It's a Chevy and a Ford. The Ford up high, the Chevy down low. Adam Roberts in the orange and white machine up high. The 77 of J. Randall Watkins can't quite keep it down there. Oh, and what a run he gets off of turn 4. Oh, and mighty close. As he clears Adam Roberts by a hair. Put the Little Caesars car of Adam Roberts back in 11th. And here he comes off the corner with a run. And here comes Scott Simley. I thought Scott was going to try to stick his nose down in there, but he didn't do it. Nice little battle there. Four-way battle, folks. Currently, 13 drivers on the lead lap. Stephen Herring is on the lead lap in 13th spot. Frank Busiella is still out on the racetrack, continuing to run laps. He's 6 back from the leader, Jose Gonzalez, in 14th. Oh, J. Randall Watkins wrecking it out. The 77 machine. Scott Simley also in the mix of that. Oh, and it looks like J. Randall a little loose off of turn 2. Adam Roberts goes up to go around him on the high side. And wrong place, wrong time, because that's where the 77 overcorrected it to the high side. Then Adam Roberts comes down the racetrack, and so does the 77, and collects Scott Simley. And both of those drivers are out. J. Randall Watkins and Adam Roberts both out. Still green flag racing here, though. I'm surprised I didn't bring out the yellow, but I tell you what, we're going to use this opportunity to take a commercial break because green flag pit stops may be approaching unless we get another wild wreck like that may send the yellow out. But if not, we'll find out here shortly as the green flag laps continue to wind down, looking and closing in on the 114 laps that's set here for the Texas Speedway, the Great American Speedway, the Texas Shootout 114. And we're back here, still green flag racing, where pit stops have just began, possibly, as we see John Wilco in the 15th spot coming down pit road. He is in 15th, or he's 15 laps down. He is in the 15th position. I'm not exactly 100% sure if this is scheduled or not, but we'll surely find out here shortly as the leaders continue to run out here. Currently, only 10 drivers on the lead lap. Stephen Herring is 26 seconds down from Jose Gonzalez. Now, folks, it takes about 29 to 28 seconds to do a lap here, so he is in jeopardy of losing a lap. And how about this? If he were to lose a lap, that's fine, because he's 7 up on Frank Busiella, who sits 11th, and he's 8 up on 12th place 88 Adam Roberts. And I want to say that was a scheduled green flag pit stop for John Wilco, because he's back out on the racetrack. He's got that Turtles in a Half Shell 62 machine back out onto the racetrack. Over halfway, of course. We've been over halfway for quite some time now. 114 laps set on the board. 74 has been completed. Don Q's Puerto Rican Jose Gonzalez currently leads this race. Nearly 4 seconds up on the Rhett McBride machine. Remember when we said, oh, Rhett McBride's closing, he's coming? What happened? He's nearly... Yeah, he gone. He's 4 seconds back now, and falling quicker and quicker with each lap. So Rhett McBride's slowing down quite some, but he could be conserving a little bit of fuel here. Who knows the strategies that play out here in the ITSR Twisted Cup Series. In the event that he is saving fuel, I'm almost 100% positive that he will have to at least stop one more time. Yeah, tough break. Rhett McBride just put it into the wall. Just getting tight. That's the 21 car. Matt Lacrosse makes his way safely around. He'll move into the second spot. Still waiting on that green flag. You know, Jose Gonzalez is strong out there. I want to reiterate the point sentence here quickly. I know I kind of ran through them at the beginning of the broadcast, but CJ LeVere currently coming into tonight's race, this is all pre-race, is leading the point standings. He's 1 up, 1 point on Jose Gonzalez. Matt Lacrosse is 15 points back. Neil Fasekas, who is not here tonight, is 22 points back. Brandon Traburco, we know how his night currently is going right now. He was 25 coming into tonight's race back. Stefan Marinac, 32 back. Adam Hiley, who is also another driver not making tonight's race. He had 6 consecutive starts. Tonight would have been his 7th, and he fails to show up. He's 33 back, tied with John Wilco, who is here. Brian Harvey's here. Blaine Woodruff in the 10th place. Currently, he's not here. So about 4 drivers in the top 10 who's had 6 consecutive starts not here tonight. Jeff Eden, not here tonight. John Higman Jr. Nice little battle here with Rich Jett in the 5th spot, and the 4th spot of Rhett McBride. Rhett going backwards. After he hit that wall, he's just starting to go backwards. Rich Jett now, move him up in the 4th spot. Scott Simley in the 68 machine, remember him? He's done. 17 laps down. Finally pulls it into the garage and out of the pit road and says, we're done. And car already loaded up on the hauler. And I think I see him down there with a set of binoculars. Chad Schilling, the first on the lead lap to possibly be your green flag pit stops. Chad Schilling has came down pit road. Now we see him exiting pit road with Jose Gonzalez blowing right by there. So Jose putting down Chad Schilling 1 lap. Multiple cars down pit road. Rhett McBride down pit road. Rich Jett, 36 machine, running 5th spot down pit road. Right side's up on both of those vehicles. The left sides come up on Rich Jett's machine. Left sides coming up on the Deuce machine of Rhett McBride. Rich Jett's going to get the early exit and beat Rhett McBride off of pit road. Now your leader, the 26 machine, Jose Gonzalez, comes down pit road, comes into his stall, doesn't overshoot it, nice and pretty, easy does it. 5 feet to spare on the left, 5 feet to spare on the right. A lot of room for the pit crew to go to work here. The right side's up on the machine, left side's going up on the Don Q Chevy. Jose Gonzalez, leader's out of the way. Good stop there for him. As he is just now being passed back by Chad Schilling. So Chad Schilling, when this is all settled out, will be put back on the lead lap, but just by a straightaway. '94 Frank Busciella coming down pit road. Oh gosh. Caution out on the speedway. Frank Busciella was trying to come down pit road. Got it below the apron. Came back up on the racetrack. Collected at first Matt Lacrosse, so he's going to have left rear damage, but then he collects the 4 car of Matt Lacrosse and shoots him straight up into the outside wall here at Texas. And C.J. Lavaire's night is done, engine blown. And caution is out on the speedway. Frank Busciella, who started this race in 11th position, has just tried to come down pit road, and it looks like maybe the speed that carried him down below the apron put him back up onto the racing surface, and that was the result of that, as the 4 car and the 21 car both getting damaged. Obviously the 4 car damage outweighs the damage of the 21 machine, but both of those cars in bad shape. So make that currently 9 on the lead lap right now. Most leaders are going to stay out onto the racing surface. They just pitted. They're going to complete lap 85. We're going to take a commercial break, come back, and carry you into the green flag here at Texas. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Todd Malmstrom, driver of the 75M Ford Mustang GT. This is what I do by night. And this is what I do by day. I sell new Fords, and I've got the best selections of used inventory that you could ask for. Come see me down here at Central Ford.
Are you tired of getting hassled at the dealerships? Looking for a salesman that knows what he's talking about? Are you looking to buy a new or used car? Then look no further! Sexton Ford Moline, Illinois has the biggest selection of new or pre-owned vehicles, and Todd Malmstrom is the salesman you want. Todd is an expert when it comes to cars, and if you don't believe me, then you should see him race on a Sunday night. With his top-notch professional customer service and expertise, he will make sure you go home in the right car for the right price. No hassle, no haggling. Todd will make sure that you're happy when you leave the lot with your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, Sexton Ford may be the talk of the town, but so is Todd Malmstrom. If you're in the market for a new ride, then buy one from a winner. Todd Malmstrom at Sexton Ford Moline.
Back where we just went back, green flag racing. You didn't miss a thing. And oh, we got a spin. Brian Harvey, right off the bat here, coming down the front stretch. Looks like he may have not got it in gear. That could be the result of this. Looking back at it now, oh, it looks like he just geared down or something, and Chad Schilling got into the back of him. So Chad Schilling's night has come to an abrupt end. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's got heavy, heavy front end damage. Although back up front here, though, Jose Gonzalez leading the way, Matt Lacrosse second, Stefan Marinac third, Rich Jett fourth, and Rhett McBride rounding out the top five. Rhett McBride more than likely down this last caution. When he pitted, got some of his damage repaired. Not sure if he got all of it, but right now he looks like he's about to get a handful of the 83 machine of Jay Horton in the sixth spot as he begins to try to find and clear a path away around Rhett. That's the closest battle right now between these two drivers, Rhett McBride and Jay Horton. Although a little something shaking up here in second. Stefan Marinac going underneath Matt Lacrosse. Matt looks like he's going to put the left hand out the window and say, go on by, buddy. Matt suffering from left rear damage there from the incident with C.J. LeVere and Frank Busiella. I just don't know if Stefan Marinak's got anything for him. For Jose Gonzalez, that is. Stefan started third, mighty fast. Mighty fast. In qualifying. He's got left front damage, right rear damage. So that machine, 50%'s beat up a little bit, but he's still out there putting down laps. And Ben Burnett has finally said enough is enough. 91 laps down, 23rd spot. He's done. He's actually left the race. His hauler's getting up on I-20 as we speak. Never a good sign when the hauler leaves Texas Motor Speedway early and gets up on Interstate I-20. Beats the traffic. Right now, all eyes glued to the 26 machine of Jose Gonzalez as he's been dominant here thus far, with Stefan Marinak wondering in the balance, can I catch him? Can I hold off Matt Lacrosse, who's coming in third? Is Rich Jett a threat in fourth? And can Jay Horton back fifth save just enough right front and right rear to catch the guys who are battling for this second and fourth spot? Meanwhile, Jose Gonzalez in about half a lap is going to have his hands full with the 66 machine struggling of Brian Harvey, who's in ninth, currently on the lead lap, but in jeopardy of losing that as we go 97 on the board. Folks, if you're a big basketball fan out there, 8 minutes ago, Connecticut defeated Notre Dame 79-58 to complete, and I'm not exaggerating, a 40-0, a perfect season, and to win the school's 9th NCAA women's basketball title. Congratulations to both men's and women's division. UConn, Connecticut, winning tonight big, 79-58, 40-0. Talking about winning it out. Looking at the battle here, shaping up for second spot. The 21 machine, Matt Lacrosse, is all over. Tucked up nice and pretty under the deck lid of Stefan Marinak, coming in at turn 4 here, exiting turn 4. Both cars with good momentum coming off. Equally spread it apart. About 1 car length separates the two. Man, Stefan Marinak just gets a nice run into the corner. It just seems Marinak can come off the corner too, but not as good as Matt Lacrosse, as now they look to go underneath Brian Harvey, who's 1 lap down now. It's turns 3 and 4. Coming off the corner, Matt Lacrosse is still there. Looking underneath. He's underneath. Stefan Marinak just going to roll over there and let him go. Matt Lacrosse touches the apron, shoots up the track just ever so slightly. Marinak going to let him gather it up. He could have been, oh, and there he gets a little loose again. Oh, man. Almost looked like Matt Lacrosse did a little brake check. Just slowed up so quick. And guess what that does? That lets the 36 car come on out and join the party. Rich Jett looking for third. Now it's a battle back between second and third here. Stefan Marinak looking up underneath the 21 machine of Matt Lacrosse again. Now here comes big bubblegum chewing machine of 36 Rich Jett. Oh, I thought Rich was going to put it in there. He's wheeling it. Look at him wheeling it. The Big League Chew bubblegum since 1980. Chevrolet Rich Jet looking to claim a third or a second spot finish tonight. Stefan Marinac, other plans. Matt Lacrosse has other plans too. 10 laps to go. Still the battle on the track currently is between this second, third, and fourth spot. Jose Gonzalez is all but decked out. A complete turn away from this group here. Stefan Marinac, Matt Lacrosse, and Rich Jet. Meanwhile, Rich Jet lipped up a little bit. He's about 3 car lengths back from the third place driver. He may just be lurking in the shadows like a grasshopper waiting to attack its prey. Now we're racing. 1 car separates all 3 drivers as Matt Lacrosse puts it up underneath Stefan Marinac. This is the battle for second. Meanwhile, Marinac washes up the track. Lacrosse lets out the throttle to keep her down in his lane as Rich Jet looks high, trying to decide who to go with and who to stay with. He's somewhere stuck in the middle. He's looking at the low lane now as he exits into turns 2. Off of 2. Trying to keep his distance, not overreact, not underreact. Rich, you got just about 5-6 laps left. Jose Gonzalez leading Stefan, Matt, Rich, Jay Horton make out the top 5. Rhett McBride 6th, Stephen Heron 7th. Chad Schilling in 8th on the lead lap. 8 drivers currently. We've got a 3-way battle here for the podium finishes, 2nd and 3rd. The group is led by Stefan Marinac, who was fastest in qualifying against these 2 drivers. Who was fastest in practice. It was Matt Lacrosse. Interesting strategies building up here. Coming to 5 laps to go, this time by Jose Gonzalez. 5 fingers in the air by the flagman. Crew chiefs, spotters to all 3 of these drivers. Patience, patience, patience. As 2 to 3 car lengths now separates all 3 drivers. They've gotten into a little bit of a steady run here as Rich Jet may try to do something this time by 4 fingers in the air. 4 laps to go here at the Texas Motor Speedway, race 7, the Texas Shootout. Oh, 3 laps to go. Yeah. Yeah, three laps to go. That's right. I was thinking 1:15. It's exciting. So, if I've got my math correct, 2 to go this time. Or as the flagman sees it, 1 green flag and 1 white flag held together by fists. As Rich Jet looks like he's going to make a move on Matt Lacrosse coming off of turn 2. He's there, but not quite able to make the pass. This time by a white flag in the air for Jose Gonzalez to Don Q Chevy. one more time around the mile-and-a-half racetrack, and you'll see Jose Gonzalez possibly win his second win of the season. Second place, starting the battle up, third spot, fourth spot battle. We're going to take you to a quick commercial break. When we return, the results. Nah, I'm just kidding. Rich Jett trying to close in the Matt Lacrosse. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Stefan Marinac holds off to second. Matt Lacrosse will finish third, and Rich Jett will round out the fourth spot here at Texas. And the fifth spot will go to Jay Horton. Sixth, Rhett McBride. Chad Chilling finishes eighth, and Stephen Herring, what a night, will finish seventh. Ole, 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 ole. Jose Gonzalez wins at Texas. When we return, podium finishers, strategies and how they play out, and post-race interviews. All to come here. You're watching MW Productions live here with the ITSR Twisted Cup Series at Texas.
Trucking has always been a part of me. It started years ago when my dad and granddad were hauling vegetables to market in Liverpool. The family immigrated to Canada in the late 60s and settled near Alliston, Ontario. I bought my first truck in 1982 and Mercer Trucking was born. Today, Mercer Trucking has over 50 trucks in terminals in Toronto and Los Angeles. Our storage facilities at both terminals can handle any size of distribution needs throughout North America. We service the continental U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. We run over 120,000 miles per month and some of the best equipment on the road today. We specialize in less than truckload shipments, show freight, we do rush team service deliveries, and haul your refrigerated or heated product. Our regular team service from Canada to California is second to none, and our staff and drivers are among the best in the business. I'm proud of our people and what they can achieve. Trucking is in my blood, it's my livelihood, and it's what I do best.
Back live here at Texas Motor Speedway with the ITSR Twisted Cup Series, where we've just wrapped up race number 7. And standing by here with Matt Lacrosse. Matt, the 21 machine, had a nice run here tonight. Matt, talk to us about your race.
Yeah, it was going pretty good. Nice battle there at the end with Stefan and Rich Jett, but Jose was on another planet tonight. Couldn't catch him. Got a little bit of damage, I think, that kind of affected the way my car handled when Frank was on the apron and it barely came up and clipped me, but it made my car a little bit more loose than it was before. But it was all I could just to hang on to it and hold on to third there with Rich right behind me.
Matt, you know, coming into tonight's race, sitting here third in points, 15 back from CJ Lavere, 14 back from Jose Gonzalez. You got to think that with the finish that CJ Lavere had, you're going to secure that second spot in points, and it just gets harder and harder from there. Jose Gonzalez winning his second race in 7 races, and the competition's fierce, as you said, out in his own little planet tonight. How about in his own country from Puerto Rico, right? Jose putting on a show as always, but let's go back to lap 4, lap 5, the big one at Texas. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Did you get a good look at that from your point of view?
No, from what I heard on the radio, Brandon Traburco got loose, I guess, coming off of 2 and overcorrected and just collected a bunch of people. But the setup was really weird. It was really loose in 1 and 2, and then really tight in 3 and 4, so you had to drive the corners completely differently. And I guess that's what happened. I saw it happen, and I saw a bunch of people. Some people didn't check up in time, and that collected more people, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm glad I wasn't in that. I'm glad I actually messed up in qualifying enough to start in the back.
Absolutely. Matt, last but not least, anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank Quick Car Racing Products, Hippie's Paint Shop, MW Productions on the car tonight. Thank you guys up there in the booth, Axo Sanitary. You guys do a great job. I'm just, woo, top 5.
Absolutely. Matt completes his 4th top 5 of the season with that finish tonight here in 3rd. Next up, Stefan Marinak. Stefan comes into practice a little quick, but not the quickest, 6th quickest. Then comes qualifying, 10 minutes to take your time. He puts down a lickety split, as some may call it, 28.579, moves up the charts to 3rd, and he comes into the race, the Great American Race, the Texas Shootout 114, and puts that 24 machine in 2nd. So up, and away, Stefan.
Yeah, I'm really happy I got a decent finish. It just, the last 2 weeks have been really bad. You know, this season we've had first 2 races had horrible finishes, second 2 had great finishes, then the next 2 had horrible finishes, and we're probably continuing that pattern. But yeah, just thrilled to get 2nd. That'll get me up in the points. And yeah, just kept improving. I didn't have a lot of practice with this setup. It was really challenging to drive. But great racing at the end with those guys, and really happy to get 2nd place.
Yeah, you just mentioned points. Points were just updated. You've cracked the top 5 into 4th spot in points, just 33 back from Jose Gonzalez. Hopefully I didn't ruin any spoiler alerts there. But let's talk Darlington real quick, man. What's the car look like for Darlington next Tuesday night?
You know, once again, just like the season's been, a hit or miss. You know, I got my first RSR Cup win there, but every other race has been horrible. So I like the track. You know, as long as we can stay out of trouble, it should be a good race.
Last but not least, Stefan, thanks for the comments tonight about that. And anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, Game of Thrones, best show on television. Hippie's Paint Shop, Axo Sanitary, Quick Car, ITSR, you guys up in the booth, MW Productions, and that's it.
Thank you. There you have it, folks. Stefan Marinak finishing 2nd night here at Texas. Now for the man of the event, Ole, Jose Gonzalez wins at Texas. Jose, wow, dominating fashion here tonight.
Show me the money!
It's the milk, right? Drink the
right.
milk. No, man, great run. Obviously, you may have to let out of the throttle just a little bit to make things a little bit more exciting. But, hey, there's some fans out there that like the dominating. You know, this will be a good opportunity for Stefan, Matt, Rich, some of those guys to go back and look at the race recap, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Today I didn't get much practice this week, so my plan was just to save my tires and just ride around and see what happened. And I saw these guys just racing at the start, you know, side by side. I was wondering what they were thinking, and you know, I saw that wreck up front, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And I was lucky to survive that. And after that, I just I got the lead, and it was easy to get a good run of the restart. And once I got, you know, 1 second ahead on a restart, I just saved my tires, and I could see the guys behind me. They would be at the same speed as I was for 10-15 laps and then fall back. So I guess the strategy worked for me.
Also closing in on CJ Lavere, a little bit more than closing in. You actually gained the points lead after tonight's race, and you know, the most consecutive driver right now currently in the ITSR Twisted Series League. you're where you need to be. You're where you need to be first, right there. 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s, 2 wins, of course, and tied 2 poles with Matt Lacrosse. How does things look at Darlington? And then talk to us about that.
Oh, I hate that track. That's a weird track for me. I don't really get it, but usually when I get to those tracks that I feel uncomfortable, for some reason I end up doing pretty well. So hopefully that's what happens. Yeah, I'm glad to be up there in the points. There's some money there for the first block, so I got my eye on that prize. That's why I say, show me the money!
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, that's what it's all about. It's not just coming here to see who can get the bragging rights for next week. There's money up for grabs, and there could be a lot of money up for grabs. Total reimbursement fees back, stuff like that. So it's always good to have a little bit of competition. Last but not least, Jose, anybody you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, Hippie's Paint Shop, Quick Car, the Meatball Company, We Got Balls. And I want to say hello to my friends. They were watching the race while playing cards in Frank's Gay and Lesbian Club. Rebecca, Frank, Willow, and my beautiful girlfriend Jalili Manning. They're watching, so I want to say hello to them. And but enough about me. How about you, Keaton? How was the race for you?
Oh, it was great. It was exciting at the very. Thank you for the interview, Jose. The race was great.
You're
at the
always
beginning.
asking questions, so now somebody should ask you the questions, right?
Yeah, I guess that's fine. It was great, as always. It's the Great American Speedway. And I'm excited, though, and I'm excited for next week. Darlington, Jose was talking about he just doesn't get that track. It's a weird-shaped track, and it creates for some great racing, and I can't wait to get there. And, in fact, we're going to go ahead and load up the airplane. Me, Mike Keaton, up in the booth tonight with MW Michael Woolley himself. What? Who sang that song? Another One Bites the Dust. Queen? Yeah. I'm gonna be singing Queen for the rest of the night. Another One Bites the Dust, and ole ole ole, Jose wins here at Texas. We'll see you next week, Tuesday night at Darlington.
DGVertec.net's primary goal is to provide you with a successful website presence. They have purpose-built their web servers successfully throughout the years. The stress testing has been done so that they can provide you with an enhanced web hosting technology that they design for using future standards today for tomorrow. They offer 24/7 support for all web hosting plans. Their team answers support tickets 24/7. So if you have a problem at any time, an agent will be more than happy to help you. If you're not satisfied with your service within 7 days, then you can get a full money back guarantee with a 99 uptime guaranteed as well, with plans for shared hosting starting at just $2.95. It's clear to see why DGVertec should be your choice for web hosting. Just go to www.dgvertec.net today, your web hosting solution.